for this case of someone. Okay, so considering that we have both x and y, all lines that crosses the y-axis horizontally. Let me draw this line this way. If I draw a line like this, they look like they are x-axis. Someone will be like, this looks like an x-axis. Let me draw a line here. If you were to name this line is called y is equal to 1. Anyone with a reason why we call it y is equals to 1? Instead of x is equals to 1, we call it y is equals to 1. Anyone with a good reason? I'll be happy to take the reason. That straight line that I've drawn is called y is equal to 1, and it's not called x. Yes, Kia?
Because the line crosses through 1 on the y-axis.
Correct. That is a perfect answer, that it crosses through position 1 on the y-axis. So now that's why we call it that way. Now, someone to tell me the name of this line. Now I'm changing the story. Someone to tell me the name of this line. Let me just put my ruler here. Someone to tell me the name of that line. The name of that line. Yes, we have a line there. I need the name of that line. Just that one. So according to Kia's answer was that the reason we called it y is equals to 1 was because it crossed the y-axis at point 1. So by crossing y-axis, we start by calling it y equals that position. Chege, let's start with Chege then, Riona.
X equals -2.
X is equals to -2. Riona, why did Chege say that x is equals to -2 is the answer?
Because the line goes through the -2 on the x-axis.
Correct. It passes through the -2 on the x-axis. So some people normally get confusion concerning this question because some of them think that because the line is going up just as the y is going up, some people tend to call it as y, but then this is called x is equal to -2. Another thing, let's identify a point. This is just a recap, not the reality. This is a recap. Let me identify a point and I want someone to tell me the coordinate of that point. Remember, when reading coordinates, you start with x, axis, then y-axis, meaning you are going to have something like x, then y, and they must be bracketed. So when you are reading coordinates of any point, the first thing you should look for, what is that point corresponding to on the x-axis and then on the y-axis? For example, I'm putting a point here and I'll need all of you to text me directly. I know you know how to do direct text. You send me a direct answer without putting it to everyone. I need you people, all of you, to tell me the coordinate of this point. The coordinate of this point. I need the answer in chat directly to the teacher, not to everyone. The coordinate for that point. I've received one answer. If you don't know how to send a direct message, probably you can go to the participant part and then message the teacher directly. I can see, let me see here. That is right. Let me see the other person. Chege, that is right. Trevor. I need all your answers. So whichever answer that you get, no one will say it's wrong because I'm the only one who can see the answer. So I can see that was right. Trevor, that was right. Johari, that is good. Kulthum. Those are good. Remember to start with the x-axis. There's someone who started with y-axis. Remember to start with the x-axis. X-axis is the horizontal axis. Taraji, that is good. Yeah, Frank, that is good. Always start with x-axis. Okay. Dorina. Consider Dorina. Yeah, that's good. Now.
Excuse me, teacher.
Yes.
How do we send the message directly to you?
Okay, someone who did that, anyone who did that to help Lejean, how do you send directly a message to me? Yes, Mikkel, how did you do that?
I wanted to ask which points are plotting. I can't see it on your screen.
Are you seeing a red point?
Oh yeah, I can see it.
Okay. Yes, Kia, explain to Lejean how you do that.
When you open the chat, there's a blue button at the very top and it says start a new chat. You click on that and then select a participant. And then you click the message and then you can type and send.
Yes, as simple as that. So I think that is a very clear directive that you people can follow, and I've seen it worked for some of you. Now, the reason why I needed to be specific to know whether I wanted to know whether there is a problem on understanding the coordinates, and I've seen, yeah, Riona, that is also good. I've seen that all of you understands how to read the coordinate. So we must always start with x-axis. On the x-axis, from this point, on the x-axis, we can see there is 4. So this is point 4. And on the y-axis, if you read clearly, on the y-axis, we can see there is point 3. So this is point 4, 3, and not 3, 4. It must be 4, 3. Such coordinations. Now, that was just a by the way. I needed to make sure that you understand that. So that our topic for today was number 1. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to understand how do we identify coordinates from a specific point of a graph, and then how do we take the points and put them back to the graph. So the first part we are starting with is to make sure that we can be able to identify specific coordinates. So I'm just going to do part A, and then you will do part B on your at your free time. You'll do part B at your free time. So from this question, we've been given a graph, and I'm going to zoom into the graph. We've been given a graph like that one, and we've been told that it's passing through various points. So what we are supposed to do is to identify the specific corresponding point for y given the values for x. Now I only have 6 values, 3 values of 4. For instance, I'm going to do the second one. At point x is 2, at point x is 2, from the first graph, at point x is 2, we want to find the value of y. So I'll just go, and if you don't have a good eyesight that will enable you to get through that, because some of your eyes might have problems in checking through boxes, which is a normal thing. So I just go to x, I draw a straight line, a simple straight line like this. And then on the y-axis, I also do the same. I draw from the point where that line, x is equals to 2, meets the real line, and I read the y-axis, and my y-axis is 1. Ideally, it's not a must for you to do with a ruler. You can just look at it. 2, you can just observe from here. We came from 2. Let me use a green highlighter. We came from 2. We met a line and we got to 1. So you can literally check it without using that. So someone to tell me, I know you know how to write. You know how to write. I need you people, somebody to write under 0. You see where x is 0. On the box for y, anybody who can write on my screen to write the value for y when x is 0. Another person to write the value for y when x is 4. And the last person to write the value for y when x is 6. Yeah, You can annotate. You are free to annotate my screen. Who will start? Okay, Kia, you can start. Which one are you annotating?
So I write in the table.
Yeah, right on the table.
Okay. There.
At 4. So you came from here, 4, and then you went direct to 2. Correct. We both agree that is right. That we come from 4 on x-axis, we go to 2 on the y-axis. That is good. Someone else? Any other person? Lejan, and then Riona. And remember, you make sure that by the end of this lesson, you have answered a question. That is the rule for my classes. You must answer a question. Riona said at, who was that? Who answered that one? That was Lejan or Riona?
It was me.
Okay, it was me. So me answered, that was Lejan, I think. Lejan answered that for 6, and I knew he observed here, he went directly to 3. That is true. That is true. Riona, you do the last one for 0. Yeah, for 0, it's 0. Perfect. Can you people appreciate yourself? I like the way you people are really cooperating in that lesson. This is 0, 1, 2, 3. I'm rewriting on them because annotated content always disappear anytime we move the diagram. So that is the clear idea. I might draw a similar diagram here. Let me just draw a similar table for the next. I wanted you to do it next time, but then I feel like it's better we do it together. So let's have this one here. This is another table. This was for part A, part 1. Now this one is for part 2. Now for part 2, we have the value of, the table is longer than I thought. It's bigger than I thought, so I'll have to remove it a little bit. That way. So we are going to have the value for x here and the value for y. Now today, I'm starting the other way around. So I'm going to put the value for y as 1. And then I'm going to put another value for y as 2. I'm going to put the value for x as, I'm going to put the value for x here as 2. And I'm also going to put another value for y as, x as 8. Those ones. I just want us to fill those tables. From the diagram, you observe, confirm which axis you are dealing with. If you are dealing with x-axis, if the x-axis has been provided, we need the y-axis. If the y-axis has been provided, we need the x-axis. So anybody, remember, you only raise your hand if you have not answered the question. Get ready. Anybody who will be ready to start? Dorina, you can start. We are using the second graph now. After Dorina, we will go to Tambari. Dorina, answer 1.
Okay. So when 1 is on the y-axis, it is 3 on the x-axis.
You said when 1 is on the y-axis, 1 is on the y-axis, it's 3 on the x-axis. So that means that our answer for this part, let me get a blue pen. Our answer for this part is 3. Perfect. We were going to Tambari. After Tambari, we'll pick the next person. Yes, Tambari?
When it's 2 on the y-axis, it's 4 on the x-axis.
Perfect. When it's 2 on the y-axis, it's 4 on the x-axis. Very good. Let me use the blue pen to answer that. It's 4 on the x-axis. After Tambari, I saw Jason. Was it Jason? Remember, if you've answered the question, I will not pick your hand until everyone answers. We had, after Jason, there was another person. Let me just get. Where did the hands go? Lejan has answered the question. So, Lejan, have you answered the question?
I've answered.
Okay. Someone who've not answered the question. We have a lot of columns to fill. We have another column for 2 and another column for 8. Taraji.
Is it 0 on the y-axis?
Yes. Why? Tell us. Yeah, you're right. If it's 0, it's 2 on the x-axis, that makes it 0 on the y-axis. Now that needs explanation. How did you know that?
Because the line is at 0.
Yeah, that makes more sense. The line is really passing the x-axis, which means just at 2 direct, we go to 0. Very good. Nice. The last person, when it's on the x-axis, when it's 8 on the x-axis, anybody? Let me see from my hands, the hands that have been raised. Yes, Johari.
When it's 8 on the x-axis, it's 6 on the y-axis.
Perfect. When we come here, we automatically go to the direction of 6, so it's 6. Let's, of course, have a break a little bit. Let's have a break a little bit because we need to absorb these things. These things must be absorbed. Are we clear on how we handle the first two parts, the first part of coordinates and this part of interpreting them? Are we good with that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. Abriana, are we good? Because you are silent.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Now, so let's proceed to the next part. Now, the next part, now we are trying now to be a little bit deeper. We have to go a little bit deeper. We have an equation here. And in this equation, we have now to bring a little bit of one-step equation. A line has the equation y is equals to x plus 5. Now, this is our center point. So we want to, which of the coordinates A, B, C, D lies on this line? That is the point. So we have several coordinates, and we have to make sure that we confirm which one lies on that line. So the first thing is always to substitute. You see, we just have to substitute the value of x. So the simplest way is to substitute. Let me get a good pen. The simplest way is to substitute. The values of x, the value of x, the value of x and y. In that equation, let me continue that. In the equation, y is equal to x plus 5. For instance, what do I mean? Let's do the first example. Now, the first example, we have coordinates A is 1 and 6. Now, of these two, which one represents x and which one represents y? Anyone with an idea? Which of the two represents x? We have number 1 and 6. We must know which one represents x and which one represents y. We must know that in order for us to claim. Baraka?
1 represents x and 6 represents y.
Yes, 1 represents x and 6 represents y. Now, remember our equation. Remember the equation. Remember that y is equals to x plus 5. So we just take the values. We just take the value where they are. Now, for instance, let's take x. Let's take this x and put it here. So y, remember y is equals to x, which is 1 plus 5. 1 plus 5 says that y is equals to 6. Now, someone must confirm. The y they are saying is equals to 6 from the equation. Is it the same as the y that we see from the coordinate? Are they the same? Anyone to confirm whether the y that we've calculated here?
Yes.
Yes, they are. That means that A lies on the line. Lies on the line. Very important. A lies on the line. Now, anyone who has a graphic tablet, as we speak, or a touchscreen computer, I need someone to do Tambari. Tambari, can you do part B for us using the same style?
Okay.
Okay. The board is yours. And you do while talking so that we understand you.
Okay. So B is let me use a graphic tablet because this is my touch screen now.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see what I'm writing?
I am not seeing. Are you annotating on my screen?
Yeah.
On my side, I can't see it. Any other person who can see that?
I can see.
Yeah, so do you have another annotation style? Can you see it on your screen?
No.
Okay, that means there is annotation error. Do we have another person with a graphic tablet as Tambari is figuring out that? Or a way to write on my screen? Any other person who has a way to write on my screen? I think we made sure that that graphic tablets are supposed to be mandatory. Abriana, you can help us now.
What am I supposed to do? Because I wasn't able to hear you.
Sorry?
What are we doing? I wasn't able to hear you.
Oh, okay. Now we are doing actually, I think you must have missed something. Do you remember how we did part A? Anyone?
That's the same way you did it.
Yes, the same way we did part A. So what we are doing, we are trying to replace, the equation is y is equals to x plus 5. We want to replace the value of x here to see whether it is going to give us the same value with y, because our situation is that y is 3. So we want to see if, since our x is -2, will that give us the same y as 3? Because from the equation, it's 2, -2, and 3. So let's continue with that one so that we save time. In this case, let's try and substitute. So from our equation, we can do it here. When y is -2, is 3, we want to see whether we can use x. So y is equal to, our x is -2 plus 5. This is an integer. One is, all of them are integers, but one is a negative number. So how do we deal with the -2 plus 5? Anyone with an idea? How do we add -2? Yes, Frank. So how are you going to tell us that, Frank, in the chat? Okay, give us a try. And you find a way to rectify your microphone, right? So according to Frank, is that -2 plus 5, it should be 5 minus 2, correct? We do alternate them. When you alternate them, if you have -4 plus 9, when you alternate them together with the sign. Becomes -4. So that is 9 minus 4. Alternatively, if it's a short number, you can also use counters. Let me remind you of year 2 mathematics. You can as well as choose to use counters. Let's say you are really confused about that. So you can use counters. You can have 2 negative counters. and 5 positive counters. 5 is positive. So these are positive counters. So you can choose to cancel each of them. So remember, one counter can only go, one negative can go away with one positive. They neutralize that way. Another negative goes away with a positive. So meaning we are only remaining with 3 positive counters. So that means our y is positive 3. Positive 3, you don't need to write the plus. Someone to tell us, the y we got and the y in the coordinate, are they the same? And if in that case, Trevor?
They're not the same.
What was the y in the, what y did we find?
We found the y in question B, right?
Yeah, the y in question B. What was the y in question B?
The y in question B is 3.
Is 3. And the y that we've calculated?
That's that should be 6.
This is the y we've calculated, right?
Oh yeah.
This is another question. Separate these two questions. So this is the y we've calculated. This is another question. So now in that case, it clearly says that the two y are the same. So which means B lies on the line. On the line. Now we can have another that example. We can have that example. Let me, I just wanted not to, I wanted not to affect that because I needed a way to make sure that we can see the table. Now for part 3, let me have it done here. Let me do part 3 here because we've reached the next part. Now for part 3, let me give you an example of, let's just use what we have. 0, 5. C is 0, 5. Anyone who can speak and I write on his or her behalf on how we calculate this? How do we confirm? Anyone who can speak and then we calculate? I'll be writing as you speak. Anybody, whether you've answered the question or not, now it's open. Kia, let's go.
Okay, so x is equals to 0 and y is equals to 5. So y equals x plus 5, we substitute x, will be y equals 0 plus 5. And 0 plus 5 is 5, so y equals 5.
So that means, does the coordinate, is point C part of the line?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, point C is part of the line. As simple as that. Now you can do as many as you can. Even part 4, you say we can have even situation where we have a line. Let me go to part D. Let's try part D. Let's try part D. Someone else to help us try part D. Part D is -4, 1. Anybody? Anyone, whether you've answered or not. Anyone to help us check part D? It's just checking them. Remember the main equation was, don't forget the main equation. The main equation was, if we want to check, we have to be like, y is equal to x plus 5. That is the main equation. So if this point lies on this line, then it means if we substitute the value of x in the equation, we should be able to get the same y as 1. We did the same here. We substituted x and we got y as 5, which is part of the line. So it means if you try this, let's try it all together again. Let's try and substitute. We'll start with Dorina. Dorina, what do you think? What is the value of x here?
The value of x is -4.
-4. And y?
Y is 1.
1. Now tell me, how do we substitute y is equals to?
Y is equals to x plus
X
5.
plus 5. And what is our x from what you've just said?
Our x is -4.
So -4 plus 5. So it,
-4 -4 plus 5 is going to equals to 1.
Yeah, is equals to 1 because it's 5 minus 4, which is 1. So this clearly means that all the point, actually, it means that all these coordinates, all of them, one, the second one, the third one, and the fourth one, they lie on the line. I'll give an example of a coordinate that does not lie on the line. Let's have another coordinate. Let's have another coordinate. Oh, my work is really disorganized. If we have a coordinate, someone to think of this coordinate, coordinate E, which is 2, 7. 2, 7. We confirm whether it lies on the line, and then someone, you type the answer in chat whether it lies. The situation is y is equals to x plus 5. Always remember to start with the formula. Our y, our x in this case is, Lejean, what is our x?
2.
2. And y?
7.
7. Very good. Now we substitute. So y is equal to x, which is 2, x, which is 2, plus 5. X, which is 2 plus 5. Oh, they are really, all of them are actually getting into the line. This is a very perfect line. All of them are getting into the line. So this one gives us everything. So from the equation, we can clearly see that everything lies into the line. So this one gives us our y as 7. Now, considering if we could have had a y like, assuming we had x like, this is a good, let me change the example. I've guessed an example which lies on the line. Let me make this one 9. Let me make this one 9. So so y is equals to x plus 5. So our x is 9 and our y is 7. Now let's try and substitute. So y will be, where there is x, we put 9 plus y, which is 5. So y will be x plus y. Now 9 plus 5 is 14. So our y is 14. Now someone to tell me, is this point E part of the line? Yes or no, and why? Answers in chat. Let's put the answers in chat. Why it is or not on the line. So I need an answer. Yes, it's on the line. Why? Or no, it's not on the line, and why? Put your answer in chat directly to everyone. You send it directly to everyone. Now I'll be reading the chat so I can see people are typing. Okay, some are afraid to put it on everyone's chat, so I might need to see them from my side. So I need the reason. Is that line? We found our y to be 14, but the y in the question is 7. So we are like, is it part of the line? If yes, why? If no, why? I'm still waiting for a reason. I've only seen 4 reasons. Let me see, Trevor. Trevor says, It's not, because y is 7, but we got y 14, which is not the same. Trevor says that. Riona says it's not. No, because for it to be on the line, y should be 7. Let me see another person. No, because 9 plus 5 is 14 and not 7. No, as y is 14, but the y-axis is supposed to be 7. Here, that's good. So it's true. Whatever you are saying is true, that it's not on the line because it should be 7. Instead, we get 14. Nice. Are we clear up to there? We like taking breaks. Let's have a break, a little break. Are we clear up to there?
Yes.
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 Good. I need to see by hands whether we are clear, whether we're speaking of the same thing. Let's do a game before we introduce the last 14 minutes. Let's try and see who knows the world. Any one of you who knows the world better than another person, like, you know, the earth better. If I ask you which continent is this country found in, without Googling, you can tell me. Okay, let's lower our hands and then we see. Let's lower our hand and then we see. Don't Google. In fact, if possible, let me see your hands being here. Let me see your hand being here so that you don't Google. Put them on the chest. So if you know the answer, you just move it up and then down, okay? Now you tell me which continent. We have 7 continents. So you tell me which continent you think that country is located. So if you do this, I know you are raising your hand. Else you'll be Googling. So we start with the country Russia. Which continent? Riona's hand was up first.
Europe.
Europe, yes, it's in Europe. And here?
Asia.
Asia, okay. We bring our hands back. Now you people got it right. We go to another country. Uruguay. A country called Uruguay. Mikel?
Is it North America?
Mikel says North America. Any other person with a different idea? Abriana?
Tunisia.
Tunisia. Jason? Continent?
Asia.
Asia, Uruguay. No one has gotten it right yet. Are we still? Taraji?
Africa.
Africa? No one has got it right yet. Lejan?
South America.
Yes, South America. Uruguay is in South America. Let's take our hands back. Let's take our hands back to the chest so that we can be able to see that clearly. I'm giving another country, Taiwan. Whose hand was up? Joharis?
Asia.
Asia. Okay, let's take the hands back. I'm giving another country. Let me think of a good country that I'm looking for countries that people are not aware of. Angola. Whose hand was up? Mikel's hand was up first. Angola, Mikel?
Africa.
Africa. Let's take our hands back. Mexico? Oh, now you people know so much about Dorina.
Excuse me, I can't hear what you're saying.
Mexico. I'm waiting for Dorina to answer that.
Oh, Mexico is in North America.
North America. Nice. Let's think of the last country. Today I'll say a city. I'll say a city now. I'll say a city and then you'll tell me which continent is the city found in. I'll say a city. Berlin. Oh, answer so much up. Okay. Let's see who did not answer, who has not answered. All of you have answered. So let's try Taraji. Your hand was up faster than the rest.
Europe.
Europe, which country is it? Mikel, which country is that?
I don't know.
Spain.
Spain. Are you sure? Riona?
Germany.
German. Nice. Well, let's get back to mathematics. That was a nice break. You people are good. Next time I'll ask you of cities, okay? Or animals, great animals on different continents, and you should be ready to answer that. Or even presidents. And now with president, I know most of you will fail. Now, the last part that I want us to check is this part. I'll just make sure that now we have a situation here, which is worth 10 minutes. So I'm only going to deal with this one, and then you will deal with the next part later on. So this one is your assignment. So your assignment is the second one, but the first one is on my side. Now, the first one is copy and complete the coordinate table below for the two equations. So we have two equations. One is y is equals to x plus 4, and the other one is y is 3x divided by 2. So, and they have even given you 3x, 3 halves x means that x is being multiplied by 3 over 2. That's why most of the answers are in even number. Now, to fill in, let's do the first part. We just replace. Remember, we were just replacing. When y, the equation is y is equals to x plus 4. So anywhere you see x, you replace with the first one. Now let's start with 0. When x is 0, y is 0 plus 4, which means y is 4. When x is 2, we just take the main equation. Y is equals to x, which is 2, plus 4, which gives us 6. So y becomes 6. Do we have somebody with an idea for answering when x is 4? Ariona?
When x is 4, y is 8.
Yeah, y will be 4 plus 4, which is 8. Very good. So this is 8. When x is 6, somebody? When x is 6. Let me see. We have Trevor, Taraji, Michael, who've not answered many questions. All of you have answered. Let's check the deputy. Deputy Governor?
When x is 6, y is 10.
Y is 10. So you did 4 plus 6, right? 6 plus 4, actually. 6 plus 4, sorry. 6 plus 4 because x is 6. So 6 plus 4, which gave us 10. So 10. Leisure?
If x is 8, then y is 12.
Y is?
12.
12. Very good. Y is 12. So y is 12. Lastly, somebody, when x is 10? Yes. Let me check. I think that was Frank. Frank said, Frank said that would be 14, yes. So 10 plus 4, which is 14. So we are going to write here 14. Now, I just want to introduce a little bit for this second table. When x is 6, I'm just going to do this. Remember the next equation was when y is equals to 3 over 2x, meaning multiply. You just multiply 3 halves by x. So when x is 6, y is going to be 3 over 2 times 6. How do you multiply 3 over 2 times 6? How do you cancel them? It depends on how you are taught mathematics. For my case, I can choose to divide. 2 divided by 2, 1. 6 divided by 2, 3. So 3 times 3 is 9. Do you people know that method? That method of canceling even denominator with numerator?
Yeah.
Oh, thank God you know how to do that. Now, you will be using that one. So this one gave me, that gave me 9. So meaning on your assignment, you are going to answer the rest. So when it comes to drawing a graph, we will use those equations. These forms coordinates. Like the first one is a coordinate. The first one means the coordinate is x is 0, y is 4. So they form coordinate, and you can do the rest. So when we're putting that one, let's have a Cartesian plane. Sorry. So let me draw a plane here. It's going from 4, 6. You see, the plane is moving with 2, 2, 2. So we can just go with even numbers. We don't really need to draw odd numbers only. So I can go with even numbers. So I'm putting my plane here. So okay, so remember to rename them. So this is X, and the upper one is Y. So 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Can continue. On the other side is -2, -4, -6, negative. Yes, Abriana?
Should we draw that?
Yes, it's necessary. And above is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Downward. But if you might also, if you might write the notes later, still I'm going to send them. -2, -4, -6, -8, and so on, even -10, so whichever. So when we are identifying the points on the same axis, so you are going to draw the two graphs on the same axis. You're going to draw the two graphs on the same axis. So you can draw as long as you want, but for this time, I've chosen just to draw a shorter version. But for your case, when you will be redrawing the assignment, make sure that your graph fits everything. Like you see, the value of y should go as high as 14. So when it's 0, when x is 0, y is 4. When x is 0 on the x-axis, y is 4. Yeah, we both agreed at the beginning, that's how we plot coordinates. So you can do a dot or you can put a cross. On standard basis, we prefer a cross. Another point, when x is 2, y is 6. So you come back. We are reading from the table, remember? X is 2, y is 6. We put a cross. We go again to another one. When x is 4, y is 8. Someone to show me where that position is. When x is 4, y is 8. Anybody to put a dot somewhere? For this point 4, 6, anybody? I want to confirm that. Yes, Mika?
I annotate.
Yes, you can annotate that point. 4, 6, 4, 8.48. Yes, correct. That is the point. So 0.48 is there. So I have confirmed that you people knows how to put the point. So 0.48. So it's as Baraka annotated, it's supposed to be here. And the last one, which is 610, is going to be here. So what I'm expecting you to do with this information is to draw a straight line. I've not really finished all the way to 14 because either way, they are still going to give us a straight line. They are still going to give us a straight line. You only need 2 points to draw a straight line. Once you've identified, place your ruler, make sure your ruler is going through each and every point. After doing that, you draw your line like that. Let the line extend on both sides. Let the line extend on both sides. Use a ruler. The idea of people drawing diagrams which have not been used, you're not using a ruler, is not mathematical. It's barbaric. So make sure you operate as a mathematician. And then we should always label this graph. So this graph is called y is equals to x plus 4. This is called y is equal to x plus 4. That is the name of that graph. So when you plot the other graph, you will just plot it to the same place. On this graph, you are going to plot it on this graph. So whatever points you're going to put, if they're going to be like this, whichever, you're going to plot it on that graph. Once you plot it, you should be able to answer question C. Where the graph meets, that is the answer. You should be able to answer question C, where the graph meets. They might meet anywhere. Just make sure you plot them well. So if you've not finished plotting this one, I will make sure that I share this one on the group. So my main aim was, you know how to plot it. Are we clear now on how we plot the graphs? Can we plot a graph?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you need a video for this graph, I'll make sure I share it to Riona, and Riona might share it to you. I'll share the link to the governor, and the governor might know how it reaches you later on. At the moment, are you people ready for the exam?
Yes.
Yes.
Make a lot
Yeah.
of revision.
Yeah.
Remember, for GL exam, one thing is common. Part A, it has 20 questions, which are mental questions, and you are given 15 seconds, 8 seconds, 10 seconds. So they are very fast. So make sure you practice with mental, you try and do a lot of mental practices. Play it with your friend or whoever, do a lot of mental mathematics, use quizzes, use math set, use any site that will time you, and then you'll be able to do a lot of mental math so that you don't miss the first 20 questions. Also, in the GL exam, let it not come to your mind that these questions are simple. The first question is always simple on section B. The second question is slightly simple. As you proceed, the progress of the paper becomes complex as you proceed. So always get prepared. Always know that the last question is harder than the first question. So in that case, when you'll be doing your paper, don't be overconfident. Just have sufficient confidence. So I know you're going to do your best. You still have other lessons on Monday and Tuesday, but I know you're going to make us great concerning this GL exam. Let me not intrude into your lunch. Enjoy your lunch hour. In case of any question concerning today's lesson, feel free to reach out to me for further clarification. Goodbye.
Bye.
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 Bye.